All right, we're gonna break down my song "No Mind." The high tide breakdown was really cool. I got some comments about that, asking about like some of my amp simulators and things like that. So maybe we can break down some of that in this song. So let's take a look at Logic. Boom. So this is "No Mind" right here. Let's just break it down part by part. We're just gonna start with the drums here. The whole idea of this song was sort of just to have this one chord progression moving with this like moving bass line, just not a lot of parts, just like a really simple chill vibe, almost like a rooftop sunset, just like kicking it, rooftop bar type, really nice vibey song with layered vocals. So here are the drums. It's that one progression. That one percussion hit in there too. And I use some of these splice like crashes and risers like during the choruses. And there's also I think it's a percussion like a conga that comes right here. And also what's really funny is the very end of this song, this is a splice loop, but what I did was I played it really loud through my speakers and I actually recorded with my mic to try to get this sort of weird lo-fi sound, and I added a bunch of reverb on it at the end. It sounds like this. Added some ROM on there. So that was really cool, kind of like way to kind of close out the song. For the bass line here, a little bit of chorus on there, give it that kind of like shimmer. Tiny bit of overdrive. So here's your rhythm section. Just real moving bass line to kind of like carry everything in. So for the guitars here, there's a lot of guitars. All this blue, this is guitars. So usually what I do is I do one on the left and one on the right playing the same thing for like a stereo vibe. But every one of these guitars is actually playing something different. So here's what it sounds like all of them. And so there's one on the left, one on the right, one on the left, one on the right. But each one of these is playing something different. So here's the first one on the left. So the chords of this song are B minor 7, F sharp minor 7, E minor 7. So it's and that's pretty much the whole song, just those three chords. So the guitar on the right, that's playing something a little different. That's kind of playing like a mid-range line. There's this guitar on the left. It's a picked line. Okay, and then there's this line on the right. High line. And then there's this lead guitar that kind of comes in halfway through the intro. Kind of fills it in. And as far as my like presets for this 80s clean, this is from the Legacy pack of Logic, where you can get the old sounds of the guitars. And this is just like an 80s clean. It's just like it got a little chorus on there, and then I think I added like a little bit of a boost in the amp. So those are the main guitars. In the chorus, there is an acoustic guitar that comes in right here too. And that's just more of a texture thing, but it adds like a little bit of a shimmer to it. So everything on, and if you, with those acoustic guitars that come in, it sounds like this. that one high guitar that comes in there too. Okay, so for the vocals, you can see here, all the green, this is all vocals right here. The way that I do it is the way that I typically do it, where almost like every line of the vocals is sort of split into its own little section, just so I can record things real clean. But this is pretty standard, just like left and right.
No imagining.
Little reverb on there.
Face to face with the moment's race.
Now this is one in the center too. Right here, this is left, right, and center.
You can't breathe, you can't be here for the day.
It's a little bit of harmony there.
Breathe, you can't be here for the day.
Chorus.
When you got no mind and sometimes you just let it go. When you got no mind and sometimes you just let it go. I hope you know.
A little bit of high part right there, falsetto. For the falsetto, I always try to roll the reverb back a little bit because you don't want the reverb to be like screaming with the falsetto, and then I kind of keep it back in the mix. But with something like that, I like to do left and right vocal, and then I put the falsetto in the center, so then it kind of just like sits real nice. And this is sort of like the after chorus part, so that's why I kind of...
I hope you know. I hope you know. You can let it go.
And there's this one lead guitar part that comes in right here too. This is basically just this Logic amp with a little bit of compressor, and then there's just that ROM reverb again. So that's pretty much it for that song. It's mostly just a vibe throughout the whole thing of like one chord progression. Lyrically, I was kind of just writing about the idea of just like being free from negative thoughts and just kind of like going with the flow. And, you know, the idea of no mind is just kind of like flow state, you know, just existing in that arena. So that was pretty much it. If you want to hear those drums at the end that we recorded, it sounds like this. I really like this part.
I hope you know. Hope you know. You can let it go.
There's a big clean chord right here. I believe that has a little bit of a, yes, the tremolo's on for that. A little bit of like a wobble there. So yeah, that's No Mind. This song's doing really good too. And it was a cool follow-up to High Tide. And because I feel like High Tide was very melodic and this one's more of just like a groove-based song. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that this can help. If anybody's trying to like learn recording or whatever, this is just what works for me and what I've always done. So thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.
When you got no mind, sometimes